Hello guys, so this Aeonium Arboreum Black Rose was my first love in terms of looking for dark plants for my garden. I remember the first time I saw it when it was at a car dealership, and I just remember it blew my mind. I just thought it was so beautiful, and I knew one day I would get one. And this is probably one of the oldest ones that I have, and it's been growing steadily in this pot. However, it's not working for me. I've placed it in different areas of my garden next to different statues. It just doesn't look good anywhere. And I finally had an epiphany 2 days ago, and I know what the problem is. Because it's long, it doesn't look good in this pot. It doesn't look good in the pot, period. So I'm going to transplant it. This is another black rose that I have, but as you can see, this one it's planted in the ground and it doesn't look awkward at all, and it just looks so beautiful. In fact, it has more rosettes than the other one that's in the pot. So maybe they like being in the ground better. And I just feel like they can really reach their full potential when they're in the ground because I believe this plant can grow up to like 5 feet. I've seen some really tall ones, so this is what really inspired me to move the other one from the pot into the ground. And this is the place I have chosen for this Aeonium Arboreum. It'll look really stunning next to this angel statue. I was so afraid to transplant this Aeonium Arboreum because though it looks strong, it also felt fragile, and I was really afraid to break it. I would have been so angry if it would have broken or something. I was able to dig up the whole root ball carefully, and as you can see there, these plants have really shallow root systems, and so luckily nothing was broken, and I was able to move it into its new place safe and sound. The next plant I will be transplanting will be this Leucadendron Ebony. I don't know what I was thinking when I planted it there initially. Well, I know why I did it. I wanted coverage, I wanted a dark plant. However, the space, this area here is too small. And secondly, it does not get any sun. It hardly gets any sun during winter. During summer, it gets a lot of it, but not during winter. It hardly sees the sun. And it just looks really sad. It looks very sick. And I want to make this plant happy again. So I'm going to transplant it to an area where it will get a lot of sun because this plant it's such a sun-loving plant, and I just want to make it happy. I must say that I thought it was quite easy to uproot this plant. First of all, it hasn't been there for a year yet, and it hasn't really been well established. And I think when the plants are younger, the younger they are, the easier they are to transplant and uproot. And the root system seems to be well intact. It doesn't seem to have a deep root system. Again, it hasn't been well established. And this is all good practice for me because the next plant I will be transplanting will be a rose bush, so that might pose a little more of a challenge, but we'll see. This is where I have chosen to replant this Leucadendron Ebony. It'll be so much happier here. It'll be getting a lot of sun, especially morning sun. So I basically transplanted it from the back garden to the front garden, and believe it or not, this plant was actually growing crooked because any little sun that it was really moving towards that direction. And as you can see there, it was growing towards one side only, kind of. So it was just growing awkwardly. I'm glad I'm doing this now and not when it was already more well established. So I'm really happy with my choice, and I'm sure it'll be really happy here now.